Well, we have made it, my friends, the very last AEW show before Full Gear, which airs tonight. I don't know about you, but I am pretty flippin' excited. It also gave All Elite Wrestling one last chance to go, hey man, don't forget about all of our feuds and let's build them up onto the rafters, which they did do, but did that mean AEW Rampage was good? Or did it absolutely suck? We find out by taking this to Figure of Power and by giving the good bits an up and the bad bits are down. I mean, come on, you know the deal with Rampage. You just get a few good matches, but on this evening, we also got a few good skits, again to tie into the fact that Full Gear is only a few hours away. And once again, even though I've already said it, I'll say it twice, I can't wait. Our first match before... Come on, you know the deal with Rampage. You just get a few good matches, but on this evening, we also got a few good skits, again to tie into the fact that Full Gear is only a few hours away. And once again, even though I've already said it, I'll say it twice, I can't wait. Our first match before all of this, though, was Jungle Beard Boy taking on Bobby Fish, and as we'd already established earlier in the week, this is the wood versus the ocean, it's the jungle versus the sea. There was a lot riding on this. Thankfully, Jungle Boy attacked Bobby Fish as soon as he got in the ring too, which I always love, because of course he would do this. On Dynamite, he got jumped, so now it was he doing the jumping, and he wanted to kick some serious ass. Very sadly, he then decided to go for a springboard, and Fish just pushed him off the top rope, and he smashed into the floor. That looked really horrible. Fish then laid in some kicks, and this may have been the best thing I'd ever seen, because we then got a Full Gear advert in the lower third of the screen, and because there was a bunch of sparks coming off it, it looked like said sparks were coming off the foot of Bobby Fish. And I have now realized this is what I want in all wrestling promotions. Basically Street Fighter. Bob was then trying to work over Jungle's arm, but he was having none of this because he kept fighting back, and he proved he could wrestle when he hit this wonderful looking German suplex with a bridge. And who doesn't like bridges? It allows you to get over the water. Eventually the arm did get out, so Fish was like, haha, I've got you now, and he started again to lay in these kicks, but he went for one too many, because on the last one, Jungle Boy grabbed his leg, with one arm he reversed it into the snare trap, and Bobby Fish had no choice but to tap out. This was very, very good. In the most obvious moment ever, of course, Adam Cole ran out after this to beat up Jungle Boy, but that meant you also had the reunion between Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, as the commentators kept going, oh, disputed, 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 and he also went to get a chair, because he was going to give Jungle Boy the concerto. It was only then that Christian Cage and Luchasaurus arrived, and I was like, what time do you call this, guys? What the hell were you doing? And this is when Adam Cole showed his true colors, because he legged it, meaning Bobby Fish got his ass kicked. The Young Bucks also arrived on the scene so they could all scream at each other to build to their match for Full Gear, and I still can't call this. It kind of feels like it's Jungle Boy's time because he's been on a tear, but I am not sure. We just had the most amazing promo for the Miro versus Bryan Danielson match, and whoever is writing Miro's stuff deserves some kind of award. So Miro, and then we went straight into this awesome segment with the Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page. Ooh, delally. Because he found the Bucks in the back and he actually said, I'm sorry. Yep, these are the words that came out of his mouth. Because of course he had screwed them out of a tag team title shot last year, but Matt and Nick had screwed him out of a world title shot this year. So as far as he's concerned, they're even. But if they get involved in his match later on tonight, he will ruin them. That's what he said, ruin, gonna rip them up like a piece of paper. This was so effective it's unreal because the Cowboy is now coming across like he's in complete control, which was not the case beforehand. And put your hand up if you were so excited to see him become the AEW champion, you bet your ass. So given all of this and that amazing Bryan Danielson Miro thing, we are giving it up. Jade Cargill versus Santana Garrett was next. I won't lie, I was a little bit disappointed. This was mostly because I would actually like to have seen an elongated match between Garrett and Jade Cargill, but when you actually sit down and think about it, I totally get it. Jade is the project right now, she's beating everybody with ease, so yeah, this one clocked in at around about 2 minutes, and she basically hit the glam slam and just won. This was mostly there to tell some stories though, because not only did we have a cake at ringside to celebrate the fact that Jade Cargill has been in AEW for a year, but Red Velvet was also watching on from the crowd, because of course she's Jade Cargill's next opponent in the TBS tournament. So as soon as they were done, Red Velvet was in there and she speared the absolute shit out of Cargill before taking Mark Sterling's face and putting it into the cake. because if you do have any kind of sweet treat near a squared circle, somebody's going into it. So as an angle, this was more than effective. I would have just enjoyed a little bit more of it. But look, the whole point of this show was not only to build to AEW Full Gear, as I keep saying, but also to remind you, hi, we have AEW Dynamite next week. And when you put all that together, it did a pretty good job. We then just had another awesome video for Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk, which may be my most anticipated match on the whole pay-per-view. And then it was Ariya Daivari taking on Dante Martin. Honestly, you could have done this match in a cat house. Don't know what a cat house is, but they would have smashed it. It was great up. I mean, this was just super fun because they were flipping and flopping around the place like Bobby Fish was watching. And what I'm really enjoying about Dante Martin at the moment is that it's quite clear AEW is obsessed with trying to make him a star. But also, Lio Rush wasn't present this evening, so we built a little bit of a narrative. So after these two had hit a bunch of moves that no human being should actually be able to hit, Dante Martin hit his springboard double moonsault and he got the 1-2-3. But straight away, Ricky Starks was in there, Powerhouse Hobbs was in there, and so was Hook. And given that Lio Rush was absent on this evening, they were like, we've been watching you, Dante Martin, and we think you should join Team Taz. I mean, look how good the color orange is. So I suppose this is going to be our next feud. When Rush does return, he'll be like, I hope you didn't sign anything because it's a terrible idea. And I tell you what I like the most about this, it probably means that Dante and Lio are going to be good guys, and they really should be good guys. Did you see that match on Dynamite when they were just flying around the place? Who the hell is ever going to boo that? We then had our main event and a match that was originally scheduled for AEW Full Gear before it got moved to Rampage, but it was Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy in a Lumberjack match. And I think some people may have missed the point of this. Beforehand, to rile up the Lumberjacks, Matt Hardy promised them all that he would give them $20,000 if they did rough up Orange Cassidy, and this was basically the story of the entire thing. Because I mean, people really did a number on the piece of fruit. I mean, he got chucked out towards the gun club and they beat him up. He then got chucked out to the wingmen and they beat him up. He then got chucked out to the factory and they beat him up. Everybody was just beating his ass and it looked like he didn't have a chance. It's only at this point when the best friends went, man, we are sick of this, and they started diving around the place to try and balance the books, and they were also dressed like lumberjacks, which is why I love them so much. But it did work, and finally we had brought some balance to the force. So Team Hero had fought back, but at this juncture it got so crazy, man, I can't even recount it because so many things were going on. But what you do need to know is that the Blade got in there, he got his brass knucks, he punched Orange Cassidy right in the face, and of course you know why he wants that 20 grand. He wants to refurb his butcher shop. Hardy then dropped an elbow on Orange Cassidy, which didn't hit at all, but I kind of think he was doing this as a troll to pretend to the referee, oh no, I did hit him, and it was nothing to do with brass knucks, and he got the 1-2-3, and afterwards the Hardy family office just beat everybody up. And on that their old internet, so many people are going, I can't believe Orange Cassidy lost, this is ridiculous. But how can you not see where this is going? It's almost like somebody needs to come in and help the best friends, and what better than the leader of the new faction that they're with, Chaos? I am, of course, talking about Okada. And come on now, what other way would you want this feud to end? Imagine I told you that a few weeks ago. Oh, by the way, Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy is going to end with Okada debuting for AEW. You would have lost your damn mind. Now, admittedly, I could be completely wrong, but I'm wrong all the time and I don't care, and I'm giving this an up. Which brought us to the end of AEW Rampage, and I'm going to say this every single week until people stop tweeting me like crazy people. 60 minutes wrestling shows are so hard to get wrong. Doesn't matter if you're AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor, whoever, it just breezes by. I have a good time, and I'm overall giving it an up. Now, please do leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's AEW Rampage, and are you excited about Full Gear? Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com, keep up to date with the wrestling news. Come say hello on social media, and we have a bunch of other videos, including SmackDown Ups and Downs. Go see what I thought of that. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you for joining me as always. I will be back tomorrow to up those downs for Full Gear, and who the flub knows what is gonna happen. See ya.